Okay, let's take a look at number 5. Again, for Pythagorean theorem, we have to label our A, our B, and our C. And like I shared before, the C is always across in that 90-degree angle. So we've already labeled our A, our B, and our C. That should be pretty straightforward right away. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to plug them into our Pythagorean theorem. And we said earlier, we shared yesterday, that our Pythagorean theorem is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Now you're going to be using that over and over again. You may say, I never need to use it after high school, but that's fine. But either way, you have to remember it for now. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Now what we need to do is plug in these numbers into this. So we have our A squared, so we look at our A. So that's A squared, so we put 5 squared. Plus our B squared. Now if we look at our B here is labeled as just X, so you just put X squared. Equals our C squared, equals our C squared, that's what our formula says, and our C is 13 squared. Don't worry about putting in the meters and miles and kilometers, all that stuff right now. We're not worried about that right now. So the first thing we need to do is calculate these out. I'm going to put a different color here. So 5 squared, which is 5 times 5, is 25. 25 plus X squared, it's saying we don't know what that is right now, so we're just going to call it X, because what we're doing is we're not doubling these numbers, we're doing it to the power of itself, or to the power of 2. 25 plus X equals 13 squared, so 13 times 13, anybody? I think it's 169. Oh, so good. 169.
I know, right?
So good. All right, here we go. So now what I need to do is, let me use a different color. Now we need to solve for X. This should be super easy. So I could do, let me switch this up. Minus 25. Yeah. Minus 25.
Yeah.
You got it. So we have X equals 169 minus 25. And I get 144. Now we are not done yet. The reason is because we've squared all these numbers. So these are not real numbers. These are artificial numbers that we're working with. The real numbers are 5 and 13, right? We see that on our triangle itself. This 144, all our numbers should be within 10 or maybe 15 numbers of each other. So we have to figure out, how do we get back? Well, if we do square them, we have to do the opposite to get it back. So now we have to do square root. So let me use a different color for this too. Okay, let's see the square root of 144. So that means what number times itself equals 144? Square root of 144 is 12. So our final answer for this would be 12. X equals 12 meters, or just 12. Right now, I'm not so worried about the numbers, the units that come with it. So our final answer to that is 12. All right, let's move on to number 6, and let's take a look.